Hey everyone, Luke here with another video. In today's video, we're going to be talking about some phone flipping updates that possibly might be happening in the near future and what kind of impact they might have on all of our businesses. Tonight, typically we do a group chat, but it is Veterans Day and a lot of people have made plans with friends and family to go out, do stuff, celebrate, and it also is technically a federal holiday. So that being said, thank you for everybody out there who has served in the military or other services related to Veterans Day. We thank you, I thank you, and just wanted to say thank you for your services. It's an incredible thing to do, and it's a great thing to do for the country. And if it wasn't for all of you veterans out there, we probably wouldn't be here today from generation to generation. So that being said, let's hop into today's video, and we will talk about some of these cool updates that are going to be coming up that I think might actually have a positive impact on our phone flipping businesses. Let's go. Hey everybody, Luke here. So today is the day that Apple finally starts taking control of its own finance devices. Now, it's not actually happening yet, but the article is starting to hit the web and the idea is starting to circulate. And that is that it seems that Apple is considering setting up a groundwork for actually setting up iPhone subscriptions, meaning that basically you can walk right into Apple and finance your device right through Apple, which is going to be kind of interesting because I think that Apple might be the one now that's going to start setting the blacklist terms. So perhaps all of the iPhones might be run through Apple on a financial basis, meaning that every device, unless you pay for it outright, is going to be financed through Apple, basically on a monthly payment or subscription-based fee or payment system. I'm not really sure exactly how it's going to work, but what I do know is that iPhones will be even easier to get than they've ever been before if Apple does implement this. I'm not sure if they're planning on actually completely eliminating the down payment system through carriers or if they're eliminating the possibility to be able to buy an iPhone outright. I'm not exactly sure what they're going to do yet, but it does seem that they are working in that direction to basically making iPhones more accessible to anybody and everybody out there. Another thing that Apple posted is that the iPhone trade-ins are up 5 times from what they were last year or the years prior. And what this means is that the iPhone industry, in the phone flipping industry, the buying, the reselling, the trading, whatever you want to call it, is growing. I mean, the volume that they've gotten in is 5 times what they got in last year or prior years from what the news article said. And this is from CNBC News, so I mean, looking at that, that's probably a pretty factual thing. They're not just, some bloat or spam news website. It's a legitimate news website, and trade-ins are up 5 times from what they were. Now, why this is really good for us is, one, it means, as I've said countless times before, the smartphone and electronics industry is here to stay. This is an industry where phones only become more expensive, parts only become more expensive, phones only become more advanced, which means technology is a really good industry to be involved in because smartphones are ever evolving. I mean, if you look around you, everywhere you go, somebody has a smartphone in their hand. It might not be a brand new iPhone, but everybody's got a phone in their hand with a smart screen on it, or considered a smartphone because it has a screen and it's touch. So very interesting, and just something to think about if you are looking to jump into this business industry. Phone flipping is not going anywhere. It is only going to get bigger and better and grow. Now, one thing that I am noticing is that Apple is really pushing the whole buyback or trade back program. Now, unless you have top connections overseas or the ones that are top connections over here domestically, it's actually really difficult to beat Apple's trade-in prices. And the reason why I know this is I do have some of the top contacts in the industry, and I recently had a friend of mine reach out to me just basically saying, hey, I'd like to sell you my Apple phone, and I only ended up being able to beat Apple by I think it was $30 to $45. Now, I still beat them, and I still was able to buy the phone and turn the phone for a $50 to $75 profit. However, Apple is probably the most competitive trade-in place, compared to GameStop, pawn shops, and the carriers. Apple actually has really good prices. They're actually really fair. Now, why this is good, though, is if you do have some of these top connections, or if you've paid for them, or studied them, or met the right people and have these as well, you do have a market here where you can now start advertising that you pay higher prices for Apple iPhone trade-ins than Apple's or carrier stores. This is another market that I think that we need to talk about this, and you need to start targeting this market because it is only further growing. Apple is really pushing a lot of advertising basically in all of their commercials. If you've seen them on TV or on the internet or on YouTube, each one of their commercials says something about trading in an iPhone and getting up to like $400 or $500, etc. So this is just another thing that you guys could be targeting with your Facebook ads, your YouTube ads, your Instagram ads, your Craigslist ads, or your Facebook Marketplace ads, or your Facebook group ads. There's starting to be so many places where you can post ads, it's a mouthful, but start targeting and start making ads for this specific part of the market. Start making ads that say, we pay cash for iPhones higher than Apple trade-in value, higher than carrier trade-in value. This is just another thing that you can put in your advertising tactics or your advertising folder that you can start to use to take advantage of this giant market. For trade-ins to go up 5 times the value, it's absolutely insane. What that means is that the smartphone market is ever evolving and ever growing. And like I've said in past videos, this market is not going anywhere. It's only going to get bigger and better. Now, back to the whole Apple subscription idea. If Apple truthfully does do this, I believe, and I could be wrong, but I believe what this emphasizes is that Apple iPhones are going to be easily obtainable more so than ever. They are going to be obtainable for almost everybody and anybody out there. Apple is a very large company, so it could go one or two ways. Apple could have really strict credit policies when it comes to signing up for a subscription for an iPhone, or they're going to be really loose because they're going to want to give everybody a chance because it's a new program. However, it could come to a halt very quick when Apple realizes a lot of people unfortunately sign up for subscriptions or financing programs for iPhones and then they don't end up paying them. However, if they eliminate the whole process and actually take it over and they develop a new system for blacklisting phones, I'm not sure exactly how that's going to work with the overseas market. If you were to ship a phone currently that is blacklisted by a carrier, you can still unlock it in certain ways or in certain countries, etc., or they're still worth a lot of money in parts. So there's always going to be the parts value. But will Apple's new system, if they are the ones behind the financing of the iPhone, will this be a blacklist that will be encrypted somehow where the phone cannot be unlocked? That's the question, because Apple is constantly patching things. They've patched RSIM, so maybe this new blacklist will be different from the ones that the carriers issue. I'm not sure, but it could be a completely whole new work or system. That's why Apple has said that they are laying the groundwork for an iPhone subscription. Perhaps behind this iPhone subscription comes a whole new form or level of blacklisting to prevent this kind of thing. I'm not sure. The good thing is iPhones will always be valuable for the parts because of the fact that Apple pretty much keeps all of its parts to itself. So kind of some interesting and new things are going to be coming up in the phone flipping industry, and just some things and kind of some tips that you guys can start doing, because if you are not targeting carriers and Apple trade-in ads, like if you're not making ads that specifically mention this stuff, it's just another ad set that you guys can include in all of your advertising tactics. It's another thing to bring some fresh new ads out there and to target possibly some new customers. Remember, Apple increased its revenue or its trade-in revenue 5 times last year. So if you aren't out there getting more trade-ins using these ad tactics, or basically targeting that you pay more cash than Apple or carriers, you're doing something wrong, or you just haven't thought about doing it yet. But if Apple can do it and made 5 times more trade-ins last year, you should be able to get some extra phones off of these new updates and just some of the stuff that the carriers and Apple are pushing. Remember, when they're offering money for trade-ins, you guys should mention that you pay more for them, because most of us can pay more for them. We don't have a lot of overhead. Most of us work out of home offices, and it's really easy to basically intercept that phone going to the carrier or Apple when they say, Apple's going to give me $400, and you say, cool, I'll give you $420. Where and when can you meet? So these are just some things that I wanted to bring up today. Once again, it is Veterans Day. It's a holiday, and I wanted to say thank you to everybody out there who has served for us. And just wanted to say that group chat will be next Monday at 7 p.m. Central Time for all the paid members. I know a lot of people are busy usually on holidays, and then Monday, obviously, too, with it being a holiday, people are probably out still, and a lot of people in my group are Eastern Time, too, so that doesn't help either. But that being said, just wanted to throw this video up for you guys and give you guys some updates on kind of what we were going to talk about tonight. Most of it was going to be about the Apple subscriptions, and just wanted to see what people thought. So, if you guys watch this video, make sure you guys drop a comment down below. Would love to hear what you guys think about the whole Apple subscriptions groundwork, and what do you think it could be, and how could it affect the phone flipping industry? I personally think that it's going to be good. So, and I'm hoping that it stays good. I guess I'm trying to have some positivity on that note. I really don't see it making things worse for us, but it could be interesting if they develop a new blacklisting system, but I'm not exactly sure on that. That being said, make sure you guys smash that like button, hit subscribe, and I will see you all in the next YouTube video.